Coming up on show 850, what do you get the kid that's got everything? Well, what about a $35,000 electric Bugatti? Stick around, I'll give you details. Plus on the podcast today we're talking about ABB building a massive new plant to build some chargers in Italy, a big milestone for Group Renault, the Cybertruck changing colour, and a new GM Buick for China. Stick around, I'll give you the details on all of those stories and a lot more. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you're listening around the world. Welcome to EV News Daily, the edition for Monday 27th of July. My name is Martyn Lee. I go through every EV story so you don't have to. Well, for those eagle-eared listeners who noticed that the show numbering goes 8:49 Friday, 8:50 Monday, I have skipped out Saturday and Sunday. Really struggling with time. I'm even recording this late on Monday, by the way. And for a while now, I've just kind of thought, you know what, on the weeks that I'm really busy, I could do with EV News Daily being, you know, Monday to Friday daily, not 7 days a week daily. But I'm on to show 850, and old habits die hard. I've done 850 shows 7 days a week. So what to do? I don't know. I can see it from 50-50. Maybe I could do Monday to Friday. That's still a daily show, but I'd miss the weekends. I mean, I'd still do interviews on Saturday for the Saturday special. On Sundays, we mention our Patreons. What day of the week will I do that? But anyway, I'm just trying it out. So 5 shows last week, 5 shows this week. Let me know your thoughts. I can always go back and do it 7 days a week if you want. All right, new listeners to the show, I don't normally waffle this much at the beginning. Let's hit the news. And let's not talk about a car factory being built, but a factory to make the chargers to charge the cars that we want to buy in the future. ABB investing serious money in the expansion of their battery manufacturing facility, a 16,000 square metre manufacturing facility in Italy. I'll do this as best I can. San Giovanni Valdarno in Italy, ready at the end of 2021. $30 million they're spending on this as a centre of excellence. It's where to make fast chargers, by the way. ABB have sold about 14,000 DC fast chargers for electric cars over the years, and they've got deals with the likes of Ionity in Europe, Electrify America in the US, and they're one of the big ones. I mean, ABB, a very famous name. The Ionity ones are the ones that change colour at the top, little halo ring around the top, and the Electrify America chargers, they are the, you know, the 350 kilowatt mega high-powered charger ones? Yeah, those are the ABB hardware units in Electrify America colours, and so they're good. They make good stuff, and now they are going to be making them at a big new facility in Italy. They're also investing $10 million in a new headquarters of R&D. That's going to be in the Netherlands, and I'm not going to attempt that place name because, out of respect to my Dutch listeners, I don't want to mangle, which is probably a very easy town or city to say, but I don't know, there's a lot of consonants in that and a lot of vowels all in a row. I'm just going to say the Netherlands, but that's where the R&D centre is going to be for ABB. I'll pop a link to Inside EVs in the show notes if you'd like to read more. Congratulations are in order to the team at Renault, or I should say Group Renault. There we go, I've done both Italian and French tonight. You're getting no more accents. France is obviously a big home market for EVs with Renault, and they've sold more than 100,000 Zoes in France, but Renault sold more than 300,000 full electric vehicles in Europe alone. That, of course, involves the little Twizy, the Zoe, the Kangoo, and the Master. They're all called, those last two are vans, by the way. Little van, big van. And those are all under the ZE name. So that's the brand that they give their EVs. 300,000 of them sold. Renault this year's had an amazing year, 38% up so far. 42,000 vehicles sold in 2020 so far. Almost all of those have been Zoes, about 37,500 of them being Renault Zoes, and loads of them getting sold in France as well. Okay, let's go from Italy to France to Germany next. A little tour around the continent. And let's talk Tesla and let's talk batteries. After a number of reports over the last few months, will they, won't they? On again, off again. Will Tesla actually make battery cells in the Gigafactory Berlin that isn't actually in Berlin? It's a long way out of it, but we'll call it Giga Berlin. Yes, they will. Yes, they absolutely will. And I'm not surprised because I've heard the stories both positive and negative over the last few months, but ever since Elon talked about how they don't have the cell manufacturing in the same place as Fremont, California, they're either coming from Panasonic in Japan or they're coming from Nevada at Gigafactory 1, as it was called back in the day. Ever since Elon said, that's mad. Like, we know that all future gigafactories, if we ever make another one, long before China, if we ever make another gigafactory, we'll make the cells there, we'll make them into batteries, and then we'll make the cars. That makes more sense. So I had no doubt that this would happen in Germany. The confirmation, though, of this persistent rumour comes from the Brandenburg Ministry of Economics, and I quote, Tesla has started planning the production of battery cells in Grünheide, I think is how I say it. The company has informed us of this, end quote, and even Elon Musk on the quarterly earnings call last week said there will be local cell production that will cover the needs of the Berlin factory. Now, Giga Berlin, that's quite a long way from Berlin, is going to make 500,000 EVs every single year. The first one is going to be the Model Y, and if this time next year, if the 27th of July 2021 means they're making cars, I think they'll have done an amazing job. And that's the target. Next July is the target. Oh, if only a few of those would be right-hand drive versions, but we'll have to wait and see. Of course, cell manufacturing is happening in China at Gigafactory Shanghai, Giga Shanghai. Oh, what am I meant to call it these days? I like the numbering system. Giga 3. I'll go old school. CATL are working alongside Tesla at that site as well for the new LFP batteries that are going in the standard range, plus Model 3 China only. I'll pop a link to Electrive in the show notes. Now, let's talk Tesla and Cybertruck. What if you want your Cybertruck in a different colour to the stainless steel that it rolls out of the new Texas Terra factory, whatever we call that one? Well, you could always wrap it in some vinyl, but according to Elon Musk, there could be another way. Actually, the body panels that are made from steel can have some chemical colouring if you apply different heat at different temperatures. And Elon has commented, obviously on Twitter, on this to say it's not impossible to have some sort of white oxide or different colours and changing colour, almost in parts of it like a rainbow effect as well, if you apply different heats to cold-rolled stainless steel as well. We'll see. We'll see how many YouTube videos spring up on day one of the Cybertruck being delivered, where someone uses their not a flamethrower to see if they can make their car change colour. I probably wouldn't do that. There's a very expensive battery sitting underneath, but somebody will. Somebody definitely will. I'll pop a link to Electric in the show notes if you'd like to read more. Now, in my garage, I'd love a power wall for a bit of storage. If I had a spare $7,000 lying around, I'd get one tomorrow. Well, actually, that's not true. I'd get PV on the roof, but I'm already talking to Phil Roberts about that from Electric Future, our premium partner of this podcast, because that's what he does. Much bigger solar projects than my house, but I have messaged him to say, right, I need some advice, Phil. We've got the funds. We've been saving up. What do I do to get panels on the roof, and what should I expect to pay? And help me out with some advice. And Phil's been an absolute legend with all of the advice that I need. So, this year, we've missed summer, obviously, but this year, it's all about getting ready for next summer with the house for us. This year, PV. Next year, storage. Well, you know, the job situation will dictate whether we have spare money to buy things like batteries, which at the moment, let's face it, are somewhat of an unnecessary luxury, but I certainly would like to do my bit and my best. But take a power wall that's in your garage or on the side of your house, make it into a grid level storage, and Tesla have a name for that. It's MEGAPACK. And Tesla is going to put in 800 megawatt hours of MEGAPACK in Nevada. Tesla Energy is coming together with a company called Switch in Nevada to put storage and big solar together. 555 megawatts of solar power and 800 megawatt hours of battery storage in Nevada, according to Teslarati. The project's announcement, they say, was related on a sustainable energy outlet called PV Tech at the end of last week, and the project called GigaWatt 1 will be comprised of 3 solar and battery installations. Work has already begun on this as well, and the batteries utilised for GigaWatt 1 will be Tesla's energy product, the MEGAPACK. The MEGAPACK is Tesla's largest energy storage unit designed for balancing the grid, and the large battery units feature a 60% increase in energy density over PowerPack, which is the next size up from Powerwall, and it boasts 3 megawatt hours of storage per pack. So congratulations. I mean, Nevada's a pretty sunny place, right? So it makes sense to have plenty of PV, plenty of solar, plenty of storage. The costs come tumbling down, and then it will just spread. Lovely. Renewables, storage, that's the future. Read more on Teslarati, I'll pop a link in the show notes. Now, GM's Buick brand. In China, they are under the name, it's a joint venture with SAIC, so the company SAIC GM. The Buick Velite7, it's an all-electric SUV. They say it does 311 miles, that's 500 Ks, but it's NEDC, Chinese way of measuring it, so EPA range, you could say take a third off, and I'd probably be not far wrong. And so with the Velite7, 2 different prices on this one, 2 different battery sizes, either 25 grand or about 28.5 grand equivalent. That's 180,000 RMB or 200,000 RMB if you were interested. So what's under the skin of a Buick Velite7 in China? Well, lots of tech. Lots and lots of tech inside. Big displays and lots of high-tech stuff. The battery pack is reasonable, actually. 55.6 kilowatt hours. Not winning any awards, but also a very usable size battery. That the cells are made by LG Chem, so best in class. And all good stuff. 130 kilowatt motor. 0 to 60, 8.6. And just the specs are very, very solid. High levels of regen, fast DC fast charging. Not sure what the actual rate is, but it says in 30 minutes you can add 130 miles. Okay, that sounds pretty quick. I've not done the actual reverse engineering of those numbers. The LEDs, there's 2 LEDs inside this, big 10-inch as the infotainment and an 8-inch LED cluster behind the steering wheel. All the usual stuff that you'd want on a nice car. Apple CarPlay, Baidu Car Life, which I'm not familiar with, but I can see it as a big China thing. Over-the-air updates, 4G connectivity, and just a very solid car, the Velite7 in China. If you want one and you're not in China, well, you're not in luck. And the same goes for the next car we'll talk about, the Aura R1. ORA is the Aura. The R1 just got a battery upgrade at the Chengdu Auto Show, which started last Friday. A lot of Chinese automakers are unveiling upgraded cars, and one of those is the Aura. The stylized capital letters ORA, and they're a Chinese car maker by Great Wall Motors, and the Aura R1 at the front, if you stare at it head on, well, if somebody had taken some tracing paper to the Honda E, you wouldn't be far off. Now, the battery pack, and the back, by the way, looks like a Smart 4.4, according to Pedro at Push EVs on his blog, which I love. Always does good battery stuff on there. The battery is 37 kilowatt hours. Not the biggest, but again, you're doing it in a car that is 3 meters or 3.5 meters long, 1.5 meters wide, 1.5 meters high, very short wheelbase, city car, 5 doors, mind, you know, it's a hatch, but still a car that costs 8,000 euros with a 37 kilowatt hour battery pack will get you a long, long way. Maybe not too many motorway journeys doing it because it's so tiny, but look, it's super cute and the tech is good, and there's even a fully charged video. If you want to go watch that £7,000 city car, would you buy one? I mean, you can't. It's China only, but would you buy one? Well, a company that is buying lots of EVs is DPD. They're a delivery company that, well, they seem to deliver all of our Amazon parcels, as I mentioned on Friday's show. we spend a fair amount on Amazon Prime, and so I see a lot of the DPD lorry, and it's always a stinky diesel. And now DPD saying that they are ahead of their plan. They have 700 electric vehicles in use in the UK, and they're already reaching their target of electrifying 10% of the UK fleet earlier, 5 months earlier than they planned. So a company that is doing their bit to buy electric vehicles. They are using Nissan ENV200s. There's a van made by MAN, M-A-N, called the ETGE. They're also testing out the Vauxhall Vivaro E as well. And I get sent pictures occasionally of the DPD electric vans because, they've got the green paintwork and the leaves on the side, and people send them to me. Not seen one in person yet, not come down my little road with my parcels, but I'm looking forward to the day that they do and that lots of other delivery companies follow their lead. Right, final story and the headline story today. What do you get the person that has everything? Well, I don't know. If you've got more money than sense, or maybe just a professional sports person, what do you spend this week's $35,000 paycheck on for playing one game a week? Well, you could always buy a Bugatti. And no, I haven't missed a zero. The Bugatti Baby 2 is an all-electric roadster that is a toy. It's a 75% scale car. An adult can fit in it. Actually, an adult can drive it as well. Now, the little car company has developed this with Bugatti. The Baby 2 is a recreation of the original Baby, which the founder of Bugatti built for his son, a chap called Roland, in 1926. And so this is, as you can imagine, a single-seater. You sit in the middle. It's wind in the hair motoring, and so big steering wheel, open wheels, all those kind of things, but now with electric power. 2.8 kilowatt hour battery pack, 42 miles an hour top speed, aluminium body, and probably, I imagine, on private roads, a lot of fun. So, I'll pop a link to Autoblog in the show notes if you would like to know where you can spend your $35,000, about 30 grand, on a little, not quite a toy, but a 75% scale, classic 1920s looking Bugatti with electric power. Well, that's your show for today. Thank you very much for listening. Like I say, I'd appreciate your feedback on the plan for maybe the daily being a Monday to Friday daily, or whether you still want 7 days or interviews on Saturday. We can do anything you want. As listeners of this show, I will be guided by you. Feedback, the email address is hello@evnewsdaily.com, or leave a comment on the YouTube show. Thank you to our premium partners, Phil Roberts of Electric Future, Brad Crosby, Avid Technology, Brightsmith Group, Porsche of the Village, they're in Cincinnati, alongside Audi of Cincinnati East, Volvo Cars of Cincinnati East, and now NationalCarCharging.com and AlohaCharge.com. So yes, if we don't do a Sunday show, where do we mention all of our partners and executive producers like David and Lisa Allen, our partners OEM Audio of New Zealand and evpower.co.nz, Paul O'Connor, Trey V, Gareth Hamer, eMobility Norway, Bob Boothby from the Millbrook Cottages, an elopement wedding venue, ev-resource.com, and all of our exec producers. What day of the week do we do them? Or maybe we sort of divvy them up into batches of 20 and do them once a day. I don't know what the best solution is, but I would appreciate any feedback of how we can still make the show as regular as you want, but I kind of struggle with a busier family life than I ever had. But I'm not complaining, because we wanted to go from a 2 to a 3 for a long time, and that was the best thing that happened to us last December. So I'm not complaining, but life is very, very, very busy, which is why I'm making this so late at night when the family are all asleep. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, and I will get back to you. Have a wonderful day. I'll catch you tomorrow, and remember, there's no such thing as a self-charging hybrid.